Hi there guys, and welcome to today's live stream episode of the Cryptoverse, your regular dose of news and commentary on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Now I'm live streaming this episode because I've spent the morning kind of concentrating on a few trades. You know me, concentrated mind, didn't want to split my attention, so I figured do it in order, get the trades done right, finish those, then move on to the Cryptoverse. So let us begin by spending a few minutes looking at the markets, then we'll do a check in the chat, then we'll look at the headlines in real time, then I'll check the chat again to see which headline you want me to cover, and we'll spend 5 minutes analyzing whichever article looks interesting, and then we'll be out. So I still want to keep this to about 15 minutes, so I need to keep an eye on the time. So with that, I'll begin my little timer here so I can keep an eye on this sort of thing. So let's begin. Spend like 4 minutes on the market roundup. So very interesting stuff going on. Let's go over to OCFX. Let's do a quick refresh here. There are double-digit losses almost across the board. And this morning, about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock UK time, Dash was the only survivor, and it was up 22% in that 24-hour cycle. Now it's still showing a gain right now, but it's showing just a plus 0.14% gain. The only other gainer here is Monacoin, which is the famous for being the first Japanese cryptocurrency. That's its claim to fame. But other than that, you can see pretty significant losses across the board here. Library credits being the biggest faller, Ethereum Classic being the second biggest faller, Basic Attention Token, BitShares, and then Komodo, all between 20 and 25% losses. So that's the situation on the markets. I was going to talk more about Dash, but since it's given back a lot of those gains, we can just leave it at that, I guess. I can move my coinage over here we go, and look at the charts real quick. You can see Bitcoin is pulled right back from its high points. I'm looking at my wrong stream thing, here we go. Bitcoin's pulled back right off of its high points. You see I was talking about relative strength index. It's still in the overbought territory, but it's starting to move down again. And then if we look at Dash and its massive rise, it's starting to pull back off of its high from today, which was $811.72. So that's the situation on the markets. There was a lot of talk about a pullback. You know, I mentioned it a few times. Overextension for moving averages. Even now, if you look at Bitcoin, it's still pretty overextended from its moving averages. Just checking the time here. So those pullback points we spoke about, or maybe 8,000, could still be on the cards. And that high there was rejected quite significantly. And it's now scraping around the $9,500 mark. So not too bad, not too bad. We knew this was going to happen. Massive volume yesterday, but not so much today. So if you've been waiting to get some bargains, if you've been waiting to buy that coin you've always wanted, and you have some fiat currency on the sidelines, then these are the times when the cryptocurrency market has its own version of the Black Friday sale. So there we go. So let's move over, have a look at the chat, see how everyone's doing today, see what we got. Let me display it on the screen, so we'll spend a minute on the chat, see where you're all doing today. Paris in the house, we've got Ohio in the house. Yep, Power Ledger, definitely. I was watching a Superman live stream yesterday, and he was talking maybe $10 Power Ledger by the end of next year. It's like 55 cents right now. A few more seats just opened up on the 10K Bitcoin yacht. Not sure what that is. Well, what I really wanted to do with this minute, I wanted to see what you guys wanted me to cover in the news. If there's any particular news story that you've heard about that I might not have heard about that you want me to look at, stick that in the chat right about now. Otherwise, we'll move on to my news scanner. I've prepared some things in case we can't find any good news headlines to analyze. We can do the journey to the $10,000 Bitcoin, that's something I've prepared as a backup in case the news headlines are garbage today. Now, I probably should have put the stream settings slightly different. I should have put the delay on slightly shorter so that what I'm saying to you comes through quicker than I'm saying it, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a delay on that. But anyway, so there is no suggestions so far, so let's just go ahead and look at the news headlines. The reason I'm doing this so precisely with the timings is because I'm thinking about the recording. I'm trying to blend live stream with, you know, recorded content. So let's spend a couple of minutes just looking at the news headlines. So let's refresh my feed here, see what we got. The Merkel says Bitcoin price spirals out of control as $10,000 is far away. So as you look at these headlines and as I read them out, if you see anything here that you'd like in particular for me to go into, let me know in the chat ASAP, because after I've done my own little analysis here of the headlines, we'll pick one from either the chat, whichever one's popular, or whichever one, I'll pick one out if we don't get one popular in the chat. So Trump's Federal Reserve nominee says cryptos don't really matter today. Interesting. John McAfee doubled down, predicts a $1 million Bitcoin, bets his DICK on it. The CoinDesk says topped out, Bitcoin flirts with short-term bearish reversals. What is it with me live streaming and people calling my house phone? You know, I've got soundproofing in the room, but it's not soundproof, if you know what I mean. So just ignore that. I'll go to answer phone. Malaysia financial regulator unveils blockchain pilot project. Okay, we need to go through this quicker. Packs full to build schools. Coinbase unprecedented victory over the IRS. That sounds like an interesting story. Brazil and New Zealand settlements. Crypto 20 exceeds $35 million raise. We could look at the Indahash ICO that went live yesterday and it's about a third sold out already. More news about the Coinbase battling with the IRS and a mini win for them. Investors taking a risk buying Bitcoin, says the European Central Bank. Ban Bitcoin according to a Nobel Prize winner, while ignoring FANG losses. Video content disruptor Flixer will be listed on KuCoin. Trading starts on Thursday the 30th. That was today. That is today. Okay, that's time up in terms of analyzing the headlines. So let's go back to the chat for 1 minute here and see if you guys have got a particular news story that you want me to look at. Otherwise, I'll pick the one about Bitcoin. Sorry, I'll say that again. I'll do the one about Coinbase defending itself against the IRS. Kind of funny that I have a house phone. It is kind of funny, isn't it? Ignore any article with the word Trump in it. What's my portfolio? That's not really the topic for today. The Coinbase article, IRC to Coinbase. IRC? Don't you mean IRS? What else we got? The Dragon Slayer thing, which is, there is a lot more going on with the IRS and Coinbase. Come on, we've got 15 seconds left. It's looking like the Coinbase one's going to win. Give my opinion on Lisk. No, that's not to do with the news headlines. Someone says the Bitcoin price increase is 15 to 10% compared to a 15% decrease compared to a 70% increase. All right, time's up. We're going to go for the Coinbase article, or well, any one of them. So let's just pick one out here. Let's find the first one. Bitcoinist.com has one. I don't really like that site, to be honest. Let's go with the Cointelegraph one. So Cointelegraph says, so we've got about 5 minutes in this segment to analyze this article. So it's a William Subag article. It was 2 hours ago when this was published. Coinbase says a partial victory appears to put an end to a 12-month legal battle. So I've covered this a number of times. It was where the IRS basically wanted arbitrary access to a ton of private information because they suspected that Coinbase users were kind of avoiding tax and so on, because so few US citizens had reported cryptocurrency gains. So the article says Coinbase has hailed a partial victory, a court order to hand over the transaction details of almost 15,000 customers to the government. In a summary of the US exchange's now year-long battle with the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, Communications Officer David Farmer confirmed previous hints that only 3% of the original data demands would be sent to lawmakers. So that's a kind of a win. That's clawed back or reduced the scope of it. After Coinbase ignored a request to inspect every transaction, and made through the company from 2013 to 2015, a court summons saw months of posturing before the IRS's position finally became untenable. There we go. The tax authority requests commentators and now legal entities confirmed was too broad in its scope. There you go. So that's what the court case said. Too broad, too sweeping, not allowed to do it, right? And here's a quote. While today's result is not the complete victory we hoped for, I assume this is Coinbase talking, it does represent a substantial and unprecedented victory for the industry and hundreds of thousands of customers that have been unfairly targeted if it weren't for our action. Close quote. That's Farmer. Farmer who? David Farmer, the communications officer at the IRS. Okay, fine. So he said that adding Coinbase was reviewing the order to turn over all transactions of $20,000 or more. So that's pretty normal in the old banking system, isn't it? They allow you pretty much free reign with small amounts, and then over a threshold, that's when they really want to know the nitty-gritty detail of it. The results provide a brief respite for Coinbase as its infrastructure feels the strain once again from Bitcoin price volatility. Oh, sorry, Coinbase's infrastructure is straining from Bitcoin's price volatility. So there was that news that came out the other day about Coinbase now having officially more clients than Charles Schwab, which was interesting. So I bet as the Bitcoin price rockets up to $10,000 or $11,000, the amount of new people that will be opening accounts at Coinbase would be absolutely incredible. So that's going to be a struggle for them. Even if they've got good infrastructure, the growth is just going to outpace it, right? And there's even a tweet here from Coinbase saying, Coinbase is performing maintenance to improve performance under high traffic, given the large volumes we saw today. This is literally today. That tweet went out. We expect buyers and sellers to be offline for 1 to 2 hours. Customers can still access their accounts, deposits, and withdrawals. Oh my goodness, so you can't buy and sell in a 2-hour window when you've got like crazy volumes. What is the volume? Like $10 billion of trading volume. And Coinbase want to suspend trading. Jeepers creepers, man. It does say, as the US dollar rates fluctuated by thousands of dollars over the past 48 hours, the exchange saw its servers go offline as it failed to cope with demand. Similar events occurred earlier this year as hundreds of thousands of new users opened wallets on a weekly basis. This is not the first time this has happened. Coinbase have struggled mightily a few times, haven't they? All right. So let's go do another 1-minute check of the chat. See what else you guys are talking about. Not a lot of chat going on considering we got 200 odd people in here. Oh, Draper's, yeah, because it's snowing in the UK. Music too loud. What are you talking about? There is no music. So yeah, this is a scarf because it's freezing today in the UK. It is snowing. I've got the heating on, but still, you know what I'm saying. The scarf, if you have any respect for yourself, just stop. Just stop what? They mentioned 8 times normal amount of people during the Bitcoin price spike. Yeah, signing up for Coinbase. Yes, absolutely. So everyone voted for the Coinbase article anyway. So it looks like an Indian dress. It's not. It's an O'Neill scarf. Look, it's got like tassels on it. Bitcoin cash analysis. No, that doesn't really fit into the day. So anyway, the conclusion for the old Coinbase situation was if you... Oh, my melody was playing in the background. Ah, bugger it. Okay, there we go. Nips. Sorry about that. Ah, why did that happen? Oh well. Anyway, that shouldn't have happened. In any case. Am I cold? Yes, I was cold. Anyway, so sorry about the music thing. I just smegged that up a little bit. But that's... Let me come back to the main screen here. Anyway, that's my quick news analysis for the day. If you would be so kind as to come and join me as a patron in Cryptoversity, you know, the trading course that I'm putting together, it's coming along very nicely. In fact, I can show you the progress of it right about now. If you go over to Cryptoverse and scroll down to the Master Cryptocurrency Trader, you can see you can't actually buy it yet. If you're a patron of Cryptoverse, you can access the pre-release version, and all these lessons are already available. I've added 6 new lessons to the course this week, and I'm aiming to add an average of 1 lesson per day. So I'm on target for this week. And of course, also, if you're in London this weekend, this Sunday, I'm doing this event. I am appearing at Tony Dada's Real Talk event, and I'm the special guest. So I'll put a link to that in the video description below. We're close to capacity, so get in there real quick. But other than that, no, I am going to play the music this time. Thanks very much for joining me today, guys. If you like this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new around here, get subscribed. And if you would like access to my very best material, such as my structured online courses that will teach you things like step-by-step how to make money with Bitcoin, go to my website, cryptoversity.com, and then click on courses, and you'll see any one of the courses that I've made for your educational delight. Alright guys, that's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Cryptoverse. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.